Hello, wonderful people. This is You See Wonders once again. If this is the first time you are seeing this, our channel, you're highly welcome. This channel is where you hear profound knowledge. I share my discoveries, my personal opinion with regards to so many aspects of life, and also I'm a programmer and an animator and a designer, graphic designer, and an artist. So here also I share my artworks and my creative projects. So if you are here, you're highly welcome, and I wish you watch till the end because there's a new insight I want to share in this video. So in this video, I want to give a hint why money is an illusion and how gold and blood is the real transaction. Why money is an illusion and how gold and blood is the real transaction. When I mean that money is an illusion, everything that is an illusion is like something that does not necessarily mean what it represents. Money does not mean value. Money does not have any value in it. In fact, money is a cover-up of a very hideous transaction that is already working in the world that so many people are ignorant of. But at the end of this video, you are going to discover the real deal that is going on in this world. I don't want you to shut this video down. This could be a very major exposition. So we all know that the major thing that backs money up, every money, when I mean money, I mean currency of any country. Every country has their own currency. US have US dollars, Nigeria has Naira, Ghana has cedis. So many countries have their different currency. And currency does not mean anything without goods and services. So currency is just like a receipt that people give other people in exchange for goods and services, our basic economy, our basic economic knowledge. So now in the place of goods and services, I'm going to be using a collective word, product. So anytime you hear me talk about product, I represent goods and services. So every product that is made on the surface of the earth has something in it. It's all about making life better. It's all about facilitating the way life is lived, or making life more active and more, easy and profound and beautiful, and so many things. Products can represent so many things, but every product is just for comfort and making life more edifying. So that being said about product, we are still breaking down the concept of product, because every product you know in this world must be backed by a type of knowledge, a type of secret knowledge. Just follow me closely. You are going to discover something today. Every product that you know today is backed up by a profound, most times guided and secured knowledge. I don't care the product that you're using today, be it software, be it the camera you're using I'm using to record this, be it the phone that you're using today, be it anything around you that is a product, is derived from some kind of secret knowledge, something that, when I call it secret, I mean knowledge that is not known by all manner of people. It's just a carefully guided knowledge. Most companies we know today have their secret ingredients and their secret concept that only experts among them know. And for every company to last and stand the test of time, they must have a type of knowledge, a type of concept, a type of strategy that they are using to, make their own product stand out from the rest, or make carve out a niche for itself. So we all have to agree in this point that every product is heavily backed up by a type of knowledge. So how does knowledge come about? How does knowledge come about? Most times people always think that knowledge comes mainly from insight and inspiration. But even though those aspects are where knowledge springs from, but beyond insight and inspiration, there is a history of preserved knowledge, history of preserved concepts that people have always kept and improved on. Let me give you an instance. Most scientists that you know their names, like Isaac Newton, like Nikola Tesla, like any scientist that have ever made a major breakthrough in the ways things are done, we all know that most of these scientists, like Nikola Tesla, that made AC current, was the one that was able to industrialize and make electricity a product that can be used the way it's being used today. And so many of them, like Isaac Newton's theory of Isaac Newton's physics, was able to set the pace for so many thermodynamics, so many new technology, at least basic technology, basic physics, which set the pace for so many inventions, cars and aircraft, and so many things that we are enjoying today. So most of them, if you study them very well, most of the knowledge they have does not come from them, does not emanate from them. Most, or in fact, all the whole scientists are actually people of deep study. They studied. They had access to some kind of knowledge that predates their lifetime, or that were ancient. So most knowledge can be traced from the ancient. Any knowledge has a backup of history. There's nothing that will just start immediately, that just started now, and the person, even though every knowledge has improvements. Improvement does not mean the pioneer. That is improvement that you improved on already existing knowledge does not mean that you pioneered it. Every knowledge came from antiquity, from the ancient. Even normally, for you to communicate and make yourself clear, you must know how to at least speak and know how to bring things that were there before, like bringing things that were there before together in a new way. That is just what all inventors and all innovators have been doing. So now, if we go back in history, if you go back and back and back, we try to take things back to its primordial origin, to where the real thing started. You know what? You know the shocking thing that we'll see there? We'll see religion. Yes. We'll see religion. We'll see mythology. Mythology that sprang up from different angles. There are different places that mythology can spring up from. Mythology can spring up from different. In fact, every religion has a type of mythology. But let's look at what most religions are pointing at. Most religions are pointing at the fact that there came a time in human history that some beings that were not humans, some beings that can be regarded as demigods, Some, the religion also called them fallen angels. Some called them Anunnaki. Some called them different names. Some, I don't know. There are many creatures that they came, but the characteristics of these creatures is that they had this superhuman power and superhuman intelligence. They had something more than humans. They had they had awesome technology, or they had something out of this world going on with them, but they had to come into this world, and they needed, it seems as if they needed to do something with humans. They needed to do something with us human beings. This is exactly where I'm going to. They needed to do something with us human beings, and because on this note, I want to make it clear that I'm a Christian, and I'm going to be using the one I'm very sure, because as a Christian, I'm very sure of the fact that there were people called the sons of God. The book of Genesis made it clear to us that there was a time that some group of beings came to this earth, and they had something to do with the daughters of men, and they gave birth to giants, which so many other religious body have said in a way. But I don't want to talk about religious body. Let me fine tune it to Christian doctrine and what I saw in the Bible. Now, when they came with so many concepts. They came with their technology, they came with their civilization, and one of the major things that we have to take note of in most of the religion is the concept of blood sacrifice, killing, shedding of blood, killing animals. Some even ancient, even Judaism recommended killing of blood. That is the Old Testament part of the Bible recommended killing of animals for some sanctification and purification. And again, so many other religions that involve themselves in burning of children, killing of animals. So many religions are into blood sacrifice. So now I'll give example with Moloch. There is a part of the Bible I read about Moloch that said that children, so many of these people, because there were many idols in those days, even up till now. And another thing in this video that I have to take note of very well is that everything that is happening from the ancient is still happening today, but it may happen under the radar. So many people are like using maybe the philosophy of the fact that everything is now everything is now technology. That the world is a free place, that is a free thinker, that I'm an atheist. You find that kind of naivety these days, because so many people say that they are atheists. They don't believe in any God, they don't believe in any religion, they are free thinkers, they are realists, they call themselves realists. But the funny thing again in the life of every realist is that, and because most of these realists are scientists, conventional scientists, and the funny thing about their life is that, number one, they forgot to see the reality as it is. What is the reality? Even the scientific discoveries and everything that have been discovered and that have been articulated, that have been brought together, and the study of the cosmos and everything, the major thing that was discovered is that the real or tangible universe that we can observe, that humans can observe with their eye and with their five senses, is just 0.000% of what there is. The rest are made up of dark energy. So it means that majority of things that really matter, majority of the universe is made up of things that we cannot directly observe. And what does that tell you? It tells you that there's a lot that we need to learn, that even many religions, like I was reading the Bible and it made me on the John chapter 1. The beginning was the word was God, and the word was God, and through him all things were made, and from invisible then there was and also Hebrews chapter 11. If you read down, you see where, by the inspiration of the Spirit of God, Paul wrote about how the invisible world, the visible worlds were made from the invisible worlds. So when people begin to argue and begin to say that most of these things are not correct, I become very dumbfounded. So now, why is it, another question that everyone that is watching me have to ask themselves is that, why is it that why is gold still a way of measuring value, even up to this day, even despite the make, like, how money has been made currency? Why is it that gold is still a way to measure a value? And because most countries of the world, most heavy countries of the world, store their treasury as gold. We all know about this one. If you go and conduct your research very well, most countries store their treasury as gold. How does gold, what was the origin of gold being the value of gold? Where is it derived from? I've tried to conduct research personally on gold itself. I didn't see any. Even if you go physics and begin to think of functionality, there's a difference between functionality and of metals. You begin to discover that gold does not have any maybe industrial functionality or any there's something called applicable functionality. Majority of the time, the major thing that gold has is maybe its aesthetic value, there's this shiny and beauty, and again maybe its or its ability to, I don't know, just maybe its color and everything. I can't see any. There's something the way I measure value is maybe the functionality. But if you check gold very well, you discover that gold does not have very paramount functionality direct to humans outside maybe its aesthetic value. But beyond that, there's something under the radar, because these beings, gold is like the metal of the gods. You understand? Gold is like the metal of the gods, because the concept of using gold as a means of measuring value didn't start now. It started from the far ancient times. And even major altars built in the name of gods, majority of the altar is arranged with gold. Why is it like that? Why is it arranged with gold? Sacred things were built with gold. Things used in temples. Royalties that represent ancient Egyptians that had royalty, that during those days they regarded their pharaohs as gods and goddesses, built majority of what they have with gold. So what is that telling you? It's telling you that the civilization that came initially had something about them that is of value, that is gold. So also humans have something of value about them that is of blood. or animals, or living animals had something important about them that is of blood. So in majority of the fraternities, or something we can call like covenant, it's always a transaction of gold, the gods offering gold in place of blood. And another shocking thing you have to know in this world is that, one, before you can make any impact, any major impact that must transcend your time, or that must transcend your immediate location where you are born, or for you to become a highly reputable person, you must have been a person of covenant. That means you must have shedded blood for in exchange of gold. And what does gold represent? Gold represents treasury and wealth. They may not tell you these things. Majority of them that are great, majority of them that are very like affluent and wealthy and even famous, many of them may not tell you this, but this is the real transaction that is going on in the world. I don't care to know who you are. You must have transacted blood. Do you know the reason why they need blood? Human blood or blood? Because the life of an animal, the life of a creature is in the blood. The life of every creature is in its blood. So for them, because they are not of the same hierarchy of life with animals or humans, they are not of the same hierarchy. These beings are of higher hierarchy. They are from a separate dimension that is not in the same level with our dimension. So before they can, it's just like unlocking or opening a door. Like, before they can gain access into this realm, the earth realm, they must fraternize blood, the blood of whoever that is involved. They must fraternize the blood so that they can have access to invade whoever, or to invade the earth realm, because this world is created in different heavens, in different realms. Go and conduct your research very well. So as we are in this realm, there is a need for them to fraternize with us. In exchange for giving them blood, they will give you gold. And that is why majority of religions recommend that you do blood sacrifices, you do blood rituals. Even in fact, most scientists know about these things. So this was the place where different kind of knowledge come from. These are because from that corridor of exchange, men began to know things that normally they are not meant to know. If you conduct your research very well, if you go deep into the life of any man that have done something extraordinary in this world, be it past, present, and in the future, there is always this shrouded part. There's a shrouded part. That shrouded part is a question: where does all this knowledge come from? Where does all this impact come from? Where does all this inventive nature come from? Where does all this insight and inspiration come from? Insight does not just come by you sitting down somewhere and then, even if it comes like that, it will not be of high impact, and you will not be able to make a major breakthrough in this world without fraternizing, without having, when I mean fraternizing, I mean doing a blood ritual. Now, after this video, I'm going to be continuing with sharing with every one of us why the blood of Jesus is something that everyone needs to understand. Why Jesus had to come and die on the cross. You know, there are so many people that are saying so many things, very shallow-minded people that don't understand what is going on under the radar. But after they must have finished criticizing what is happening, they will still go and commit to a type of God or gods. Because in this world, there are different deities, there are different princes. So look at the game. If a prince, because princes, the real principalities are not of human order, they are higher than humans, far higher than humans, with a lot of wisdom and knowledge and insight and everything, more higher than human. So if they come in an environment, for them to be real princes there, they must have people that dedicate themselves to offering blood. When those people offer blood to those princes in return to that blood they have offered will offer them gold with knowledge and insight. And when they have that knowledge and insight, they will be able to transform it into knowledge. When I mean knowledge, I mean like secular knowledge, because most of these things that you are learning in school, in conventional school, higher institution, these are just secular knowledge. They are just, when I mean secular knowledge, they are just knowledge that has regulation. They are just there to keep you locked up in how things work, in names. Because if you look at the conventional schools that we go to, just go there to cram names and people and who invented something first, who stated a type of theory. Nothing very deep that really talks about the origin of things. It's just very peripheral knowledge. So they'll have a system of placing secular knowledge. Then that secular knowledge is just to keep some kind of people enslaved. Then whereas them themselves, they protect the real treasure of knowledge, which they are going to be using from time to time to bring up products. And those products will also keep some other people locked up in a type of frame. Those products are just there as maybe glittering things. Glittering, like things that are glittering, but ever chasing those glittering things but never getting them. It's just like I don't know the best example I'll give. Maybe trying to fill a dry desert with water, with cup of water. So if you pour cup of water in a desert, it will evaporate and to be thirsty again for a while. So the major thing, most products that is being baited in this world is just to keep people under the circle of need, like longing to need more of it. So these things are strategy, but at the same time, these are princes. So when you look very well, you understand that the real thing, the real deal is principalities and powers. A principality is the being that is in charge of a region, that has the right to demand for blood and have what it takes to exchange blood with a kind of knowledge. So why are they exchanging blood? They are exchanging the blood to have access to a certain group of human beings. So many people that know this thing I'm saying will be like, they will be shocked. And so that is it. So how does this apply to you that is watching me? Don't be naive. Make sure you are not naive in this world. Try and go deep in knowledge. Those that know their God shall do exploit. Don't just be on the surface, because if you're on the surface, you will be eroded. Try and reinforce yourself with sound knowledge. So I think I'm going to end here. I encourage you to subscribe. If you got to this point, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. We are going to be bringing up so many wonderful things. In this channel, I'm very spontaneous. I won't be like doing it the conventional way people do it. I move by inspiration. And again, last but not the least, I'm one of those people that believe that Jesus is Lord. So if you believe that Jesus is Lord, I want to subscribe to our channel, because you are going somewhere with this great knowledge. This is a war front. The world is now in a war between righteousness and the gate of hell, and it will not prevail. Remain blessed. Thank you.